So you're a film photographer?
Me too!
Congratulations! You bought it, shot it, devved it, scanned it, and posted all your bangers. But what do we do with all this stuff? Welcome to the not-so-glamorous side of film photography.
Archiving.
Now, you could just shove them all in a box and call it a day, but...
We live in a society.
And do you really trust your booger-eating brats to preserve your legacy
Once you're dead and gone?
So I'm gonna show you how I go about storing, labeling, and organizing all of my film negatives. That way, they'll be preserved for decades to come, and any future kids I may have will know exactly what memories they're throwing away.
So let's get to it.
Proper archival requires two elements, preservation and organization. And to preserve your negatives, you're gonna need all this.
Affiliate links below.
Honestly, you probably only need just this stuff. And who doesn't have scissors?
Scissor privilege. Anyway,
First thing I like to do is glove up to keep my greasy Italian fingers off the film. Then I grab a roll and use a rocket blower to get the dust off.
Pro tip.
Leave the bottom clip on there so it weighs down your film and keeps it stiff while you're blowing it. Next up, I use my light table to find the first frame and trim off the leader. Then I obsessively count 6 frames at least 3 times because
I don't trust numbers.
once I locate frame number 6, I carefully cut between frame number 6 and 7. Then I just do that again and again and again until I've successfully divided my 36 exposure roll into 6 strips, each with 6 frames apiece. Okay, well,
I lied.
you see, in a perfect world, you could expect exactly 36 images every time you shoot a 36 exposure roll. But sometimes, depending on how you loaded it, whether or not it was hand spooled, and what camera you're using, you can end up with a couple bonus frames. And that's why I recommend getting this specific kind of print file archival sleeve. The print file 35 7BXW has 7 rows, each holding 6 exposures, so you can easily stuff your happy accidents down in the bottom row. I used to use the print file 35 6HB, which only has 6 rows. So anytime I got these offcuts, I'd have to shove them into the next page, wasting a whole sheet, or I'd shove all my bonus frames into one page, which is kind of
Disorganized.
I mean, what if MAGNUM Photo calls one day and they say, they want to have a master printer blow up one of my trash can bangers, and I have to say,
Sorry, I can't find it. I'm a slob.
I'm disorganized.
then I'll never be in a gallery,
I'll never meet Bruce Gilden. All this will be for nothing.
What was I talking about?
Okay, our film's all cut up. Now all we gotta do is slide the tip in with our emulsion side facing down. Don't ask me why, I just do as I'm told. Anyway, once you've cut and stuffed all your rolls, we are now
Preserved.
You could stop here, throw that sheet in a box, and rest assured, your images are safe from Father Time for decades to come.
But
Again, what if Bruce Gilden calls and says,
Hey Nick, I love your work. Grab your next from that banger video you put out where you took pictures underwater and called GrainyDays a liar. Grab your next, I'll grab mine, and we'll show them to each other and we'll be best friends.
and then you have to say,
Wow, Bruce, thank you so much, but that might take me a while because
I'm unorganized.
and then Bruce says,
What?
Unorganized? I can't believe I thought you were a good photographer and the next big thing in the film photography content creator space.
We'll never be best friends.
and then you'll have to say,
No, Bruce! I don't have ethics either!
So let's stay organized.
so instead of just putting my negs in a box, I paid for this fancy binder slash box thingy. Okay, so now I got all my sheets in order. But what if I build a darkroom someday? Am I really gonna take each page out one at a time and throw it on a light table to look for one specific shot every time I wanna print something?
No!
So let's get labeled. That's what this white strip's for. See, it's got all these sections for you to tag your sheet with the assignment, because you know I get tons of those. Very nice of Printfile to assume we're all professionals here. It also has room for the date, which, I don't know about you, but sometimes it can take me a while to finish shooting and developing a roll, so,
I usually don't remember.
So how do I file them away if they're not in chronological order? Well,
They kinda are.
not by the date I shot them, but by the date I scanned them. You see, when I'm done stuffing my floppy roll between the sheets, I put the date that I scanned it right here where it says file number. And there's a good reason for that. If I'm gonna flip through my binder looking for a specific date, I'd rather that be on the outside rather than the inside.
And
When I'm done moving my raw scans over to my computer, I put them in a corresponding folder with that same date. So that means I can scroll through all my film scans in Lightroom, find a specific roll, and know exactly where to open up my binder to find that same roll that I probably shot years ago.
But wait, what if you scanned like 10 rolls in one day?
Okay, in that case, not only do I dump all scans from any given day into one dated folder, but I also separate each roll into its own subfolder, labeled with who shot it, where we were, what camera was
Probably used.
and if it was black and white, what speed I shot it at, and maybe some development notes. Then I grab my light table, my binder, and sit at my computer and make the same exact notes on the print file sheets. This way, not only can I easily flip to the proper section of my binder, but using those tags, I can quickly determine which of those dozen or so rolls that I scanned on any given day is the same one I'm looking for. So now, one day when I'm old and gray, the YouTube money barely enough to keep me from eating cat food, not only will my images from the roaring 20s be as good as new, but there ain't nothing stopping me from finding the perfect negative and calling up Jason Kummerfeldt GrainyDays to say,
What's up, Cumberbutt? Let's get together and print something. I won't tell Caleb if you don't.
thank you, Internet. I'm Nick. Thank you so much, Internet. Is this the last one of the year?
Last one of the year.
2024 has treated me well. Thank you so much. I've gone from 5 subs to almost 7K on YouTube. I couldn't have done it without you. Happy New Year, everybody. Say Auld Lang Syne in the comments. Let all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. Let all acquaintance be forgot in days of Auld Lang Syne. Happy New Year, everybody. Where's the button? Fuck.